I listen in the mornings to, among other podcasts, The Daily, which is the New York Times daily offering. And today they took a deep dive into this, Martha's Vineyard, and how humane everybody on Martha's Vineyard was to these migrants, and what a douchebag DeSantis is, basically. They didn't quite use that term, for doing this, the sort of human props and so on. And then here was the bottom line by the reporter who was speaking to Michael Barbaro about it. Here's her bottom line on how this is backfired on DeSantis and the Republicans. All right, listen.
Lever has found a job working at concession stands, soccer games, football games. He's sending money home to his 7-year-old son. He's bought himself a new cell phone. He's making plans to buy a car, a used car, a 2012 Honda Civic, but nonetheless a car so that he doesn't have to rely on public transportation. Mm-hmm. And after that, he plans to move out of the shelter where he has been living since I met him in late July. Find a place to live, either share an apartment with some other Venezuelans or rent a room somewhere. Mm-hmm. And he actually told me that he's grateful that he got on the Abbott bus to Washington. People like Lever are telling their friends as we speak that they found work, that they're doing well, and so others will follow. And in fact, as has been the case for decades, more people will hear this story and come to the U.S.
Okay, so you see, her point is Abbott and Ducey and DeSantis will live to regret this because the immigrants are happy as clams. They get in. It's like they get jobs. They're like, you know what? It's awesome. They give you a ride to D.C. They give you a ride to Martha's Vineyard. And what I was thinking to myself was, this person doesn't understand at all why these governors are doing it. Contrary to her left-wing belief, they are not doing it to hurt the migrants, punish the migrants, and give them a miserable experience. They are trying to do that to Democrats. They are trying to do that to these sanctuary cities who feel none of the pain of having mass influxes of people, but have all of the virtue signaling that makes themselves sleep well at night.
And I think the important thing that you really got to stress in this situation is there are many people, like my grandparents, who put in the time to legally come to this country. And the process takes years when you want to follow the law. And when you're coming to America and you want to live by the rules of the country you're coming to and become a good citizen, and you believe in this country means you follow the laws of this country. And so while those folks wait patiently in line and do what's right, there's a reward right now from the Democrats for people to break the law. You should not be allowed to work if you break the law. This is a criminal act to enter the country illegally. Imagine, you enter countries illegally across this world, you don't get a job and a cell phone and a Honda Civic. Only here right now.
Well, have you seen what they do in
this
Australia?
This administration excuses this and has created an open border policy.
In Australia, you don't get past the border. It's like you will be put in what looks like hotel jail until you get out. Like you will not be enjoying the Aussies company if you try to illegally immigrate into Australia. But you know what they're doing right now? And President Biden spoke to this yesterday. I'm going to play a soundbite. He's basically saying this is different. These are Venezuelans, so they're fleeing. These are all refugees. And, we don't have diplomatic relations with them. We can't send them back. And therefore, because I'm asking myself, how did this guy she's talking about get a job within a couple of weeks? Exactly. And is he paying taxes on his job? Is that a job an American could have had? Like, what's the story behind this guy gainfully employed 2 minutes after he got here? And Joe Biden dismissed this as this is why he just wipes away 2.1 million illegal immigrants as follows. This is him at the White House. I think it's yesterday. I think it's soundbite 6.
Why is the border more overwhelmed under your watch, Mr. President?
Because there are 3 countries that are never happened. There are fewer immigrants coming from Central America and from Mexico. This is a totally different circumstance. What's on my watch now is Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And the ability to send them back to those states is not rational. You could send them back and have them wait. We're working with Mexico and other countries to see if we can stop the flow. But that's the difference. Thank you.
Looks like he's sending migrants to Delaware. Do you have any comment or response to that, sir?
He should come visit. We have a beautiful shoreline.
Oh my God.
DeSantis should come visit. So basically, they're all Venezuelans. That's why he has to let them across the southern border. That explains the entire 2.1 million.
Well, he makes a good point. This is the first time in human history that Cuba has had refugees. So he's the first president to ever have to deal with these kind of circumstances. And when he says that we're working with Mexico to see what they can do to help, there was something. It was called Stay in Mexico.
The
previous administration had a policy to create a secure border, and this administration willfully got rid of all of it and stranded all the governors in this country who are now desperately seeking for help. And what he's doing by attacking Governor DeSantis, Governor Ducey, Governor Abbott, who are trying to bring this to attention. No one in the media was talking about this crisis, absolute crisis that we have with an open border, until these governors try to say, hey, listen, how about you try and share the burden? You think you're a sanctuary city, you think you're compassionate, share the burden that we're having every day in our communities. And now it's like, oh, wow, this is a stunt. I can't believe you would do this. President Biden needs to be allowed to enjoy the nice beaches of Delaware in peace. Why are you doing this, Ron DeSantis?
It sort of struck me, first of all, every time Biden turns around and walks back towards the microphone, I guarantee his staff has like 4 valve heart failure.
Like, oh no.
It's wonderful.
Like, oh my God.
That's the moment you're like, yes, watch.
Right. So you tune in. But then, and you touched on this, the idea that somehow Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba is a new problem in the world. It's amazing. Remember the Sandinistas in the 1980s? How about Hugo Chavez? Does that ring a bell? I don't know, Castro. Maybe. Seems like we've been dealing with this for quite some time, Mr. President.
Also, I believe the vice president was tasked specifically with going to these countries to solve the root of this crisis.
Yes, which is why she didn't have to go to the border itself, because she was going to the root.
She was going to the root of the problem.
Yes, the root. And so now that she's visited the root,
which was like 300, the closest she got was 400 miles away from the border, I think.
Yeah.
But fortunately for her,
those roots are deep.
Yeah,
very deep roots.
Fortunately for her, there was a group of immigrants who showed up outside of the Naval Observatory, which is the mansion where Kamala Harris is allowed to live. And she didn't do anything with them. I mean, I don't know if you saw this video. It was on TV, and she had her motorcade just blow right past them. She didn't stop and give them a Lido's pizza. She didn't try to help them get a Honda Civic or whatever the other lady from Barbaro's show was talking about. She didn't do a single thing except go down to the White House so she could ruin another thing about our country.
If you're like me, you are growing more and more concerned about the future. The market's all over the place. Inflation, highest level in 40 years. Interest rates are skyrocketing. Market experts are using the word recession and terms like economic hurricane and unprecedented. Not good. If you want to protect your future, call a precious metal dealer I trust. American Hartford Gold. They can show you how to protect your saving and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. All it takes to get started is a short phone call, and they will have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or inside your IRA or 401k. And they keep it simple. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. And as an exclusive offer for my fans, if you call them right now, they're going to give you up to $1,500 of free silver and a free safe too on qualifying orders. Don't wait. Call now. Call 866-518-2955. That's 866-518-2955 or text Megyn, MEGYN, to 65532. Again, call 866-518-2955 or text Megyn to 65532. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.